Chosen one, this is not a coincidence. It is not just a feeling. It is not just intuition. It is divine alignment in motion. Something deep within you is being stirred, not by man, not by chance, but by the hand of God Himself. He is guiding you now, through the silence, through the uncertainty, through the storms and the seasons that no one else understood. He's been leading you step by step, even when it felt like you were going nowhere. He's been walking with you, even in the moments you thought you were forgotten. You were never lost, only in transition. You were never abandoned, only being redirected. God is guiding you to where your spirit truly belongs. Watch this video until the very end, and take a deep breath as you do. Because something in your soul is about to recognize its home. This message is for the ones who have been wandering, for the ones who have been waiting, and for those who feel like the path doesn't make sense. Let the words awaken something inside you. Let your faith respond. If this resonates with your spirit, comment your warmest wishes and write 144 in the comments to send your energy into the universe. Sometimes, the act of declaring your alignment is the first spark of miracles. Now, chosen one, show your light by liking this video and subscribe to the channel, and let's step into this together. You see, chosen one, the world has tried to distract you. It has tried to fit you into places where you never truly belonged. You've walked through rooms where your soul whispered, "This isn't it." You've spoken to people who looked you in the eye but never really saw you. You've tried to build where you weren't meant to settle. That discomfort wasn't failure. It was guidance. That discontent wasn't weakness. It was divine protection. Your spirit has always known the truth. You were never supposed to blend in. You were born to stand out, but in a place designed for your essence to thrive. The spirit within you is ancient. It carries echoes of realms your mind can't recall, but your soul remembers. That's why some places exhaust you. That's why certain environments feel like cages. That's why your energy is sensitive to what others ignore. It's not that you're broken. It's that you're sacred. You don't belong just anywhere. You can't be planted in shallow soil. God is leading you away from the noise, away from the imitation, and into the sacred ground where you'll flourish. The path is narrow because your purpose is rare. There have been seasons where everything seemed to crumble. Relationships fell apart. Plans dissolved. The people you counted on disappeared. But it wasn't the end. It was a cleansing. It was a clearing. It was divine disruption. What was removed from your life could not walk with you into the sacred territory of your calling. What left your life made space for what is coming. And now you are being guided, not pushed, not forced, guided, spirit to spirit, step by step, one whisper at a time. You're not just moving, you're being drawn. There's a place where you won't have to shrink to fit in. There's a path where your light won't be too much. There's a moment ahead where everything will feel like alignment instead of effort. And God is not leading you to that place by logic. He's leading you by spirit. Your mind might not understand it. Your emotions might resist it. But your soul knows. That sudden pull, that strange peace in unfamiliar territory, that sense of déjà vu in a place you've never been before. That's not chance, that's confirmation. Your destiny has coordinates, and your spirit is finally picking up the signal. Chosen one, you've been asking why the doors didn't open. You've been wondering why certain opportunities slipped through your fingers. But what if the rejection was your redirection? What if the detours were deliberate? What if the delay was divine? God isn't guiding you to what's popular. He's guiding you to what's sacred. He's not placing you where everyone else is running to. He's placing you where your gifts will be honored, where your growth will be nurtured, and where your presence will awaken the atmosphere. That kind of placement doesn't happen overnight. It takes wilderness. It takes stillness. It takes obedience. You've grown in silence. You've transformed in the dark. You've matured in isolation. And now you are ready, not to go back, but to be sent. God is sending you somewhere your spirit will finally breathe freely. Somewhere your soul will feel safe to shine. Somewhere your presence won't be a burden, but a blessing. You are not just relocating physically, you are shifting spiritually. What you're stepping into isn't just a season, it's a sanctuary. Not everyone can follow. Not everyone will understand. But your alignment is not up for debate. This is between you and God.
And here's what makes this sacred. It won't make sense to others. The calling isn't loud, but it's clear. The path isn't easy, but it's precise. Your next chapter isn't about proving yourself. It's about positioning yourself. You're not chasing anything anymore. You're aligning with everything you already are. The identity you tried to suppress is now your authority. The voice you were told to silence is now your compass. The dreams you buried are now your divine instructions. You're not lost. You're being led. The transition will feel lonely at times. It will feel unfamiliar. But don't be afraid of being misunderstood. Don't let the fear of being alone stop you from being aligned. Many are called, but few are chosen. And even fewer are willing to follow the call when it leads away from comfort. But chosen one, your courage is currency in the spirit. Every step you take in obedience deposits favor into your future. You're not moving blindly. You're moving faithfully. And that's enough. That's always been enough. There are places you were kept out of because your spirit was too expansive for their limits. There are people who let you go because your presence disrupted their mediocrity. That's not your loss. That's your confirmation. You were never meant to shrink. You were meant to shift atmospheres. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to be found where few dare to go. This path you're on isn't the easy one, but it's the real one. It's the path that leads to purpose, not applause. To legacy, not popularity. And when you arrive, something will click. The air will feel familiar. The energy will feel clean. Your body will relax in a way it hasn't in years. Your heart will beat with rhythm instead of resistance. Your thoughts will quiet. Your intuition will sing. That's how you'll know you've reached where your spirit belongs. And everything that didn't work out before will suddenly make sense. The delays, the heartbreaks, the silence. It was all leading to this. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Don't look back. Don't question the journey. Don't compare your path to anyone else's. What's ahead of you is uniquely designed for your soul's expansion. God doesn't make random moves. He makes divine appointments, and He has scheduled something sacred just for you. A place where you can be fully seen, fully expressed, fully aligned. And the moment you arrive, you'll realize your spirit knew the way all along. You were guided, protected, and chosen. You are stepping into alignment
that does not require external validation. The moment you realize that your spirit's guidance is more powerful than the world's approval, something shifts inside you. You begin to walk differently, not because of pride, but because of clarity. You begin to say no more often, not because you're guarded, but because you're guided. You begin to move away from environments that don't reflect the truth of your soul. This is the power of divine alignment. It creates internal security even in external uncertainty. You're no longer searching for where you fit. You're answering the call of where your spirit already belongs. Everything that was confusing before is beginning to find its rhythm. The signs are more frequent, the nudges stronger, the peace deeper. It's not that the path became easier, it's that your connection to it became clearer. And this is where many people miss it. They wait for everything to be calm before they believe they're on the right path. But chosen ones know the presence of peace is more important than the absence of problems. Peace doesn't mean there's no storm. It means you know who's guiding your ship. God is not in a rush with you. He's intentional. Every place you stopped along the way wasn't a waste. It was preparation. It was rehearsal for your arrival. The people who left, the roles you had to shed, the identities you outgrew. They were all stepping stones, not setbacks. Even your confusion had a purpose. It made you seek deeper, listen harder, trust with more sincerity. It refined your discernment so that when the real direction came, your soul would recognize it before your mind could interfere. That's where you are now, on a path your logic wouldn't have chosen, but your spirit can't deny. You may feel a sense of holy discomfort, a stirring, a pull, a divine itch you can't quite scratch. That's not you being unsettled. That's the spirit realm awakening your readiness. God doesn't speak loudly when you already know the answer. He whispers. And when your life feels like it's in flux, it's often because your soul is hearing something your mind hasn't caught up with yet. This is the sacred in-between. It's where many give up. But you were built for this tension. You were designed for this stretch. You were chosen to walk through the veil others are afraid to touch. This next phase won't be about proving your strength. It'll be about trusting your sensitivity. That same sensitivity you were once told was a weakness is actually your compass. You feel what others dismiss. You discern what others overlook. You notice what others ignore. That's not by accident. It's your gift. And when God guides you, He speaks through feeling, through vibration, through energy. That's why your peace is your confirmation. If something drains you, it's not from Him. If something aligns you, strengthens you, clears you, that's His fingerprint. Don't ignore the still voice inside you that keeps calling you somewhere, even if that somewhere is vague, even if it has no coordinates, no blueprint, no map. The truth is, your soul has already been there. Your body is just catching up. You're not lost. You're in motion, and every moment of resistance is an invitation to release control. Every moment of doubt is a chance to choose trust. And every moment of confusion is a holy setup for greater clarity. God doesn't just lead with open doors. He leads with spiritual memory. That sense of knowing, that sacred déjà vu, that this feels like mine whisper that you can't explain. That's the place. You don't have to force your way in. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to explain yourself to the masses. The place where your spirit belongs will recognize you before you even announce yourself.
The environment will respond to you. The air will make room for you. The frequency will match yours. You won't have to beg for access, because you'll realize you are the access. God isn't placing you there because of your resume. He's placing you there because of your resonance. And here's something sacred. You don't have to carry everything with you. In fact, you can't. This next place is weight sensitive. The bitterness must be left behind. The doubt must be laid down. The comparisons, the old timelines, the false identities, they can't follow you. They're too heavy for where you're going. Let go of the need to understand it all. Let go of the need to feel ready. Let go of what you thought your journey would look like. The detour is the delivery. The unfamiliar is the access point. God is guiding you, not to a place of comfort, but to a place of calling. You might find yourself becoming quiet, more selective, more sensitive to noise. That's not isolation, it's spiritual refinement. Your clarity is being protected. God is removing you from the crowd so you can hear Him more clearly. In the noise, you'd question yourself, but in the stillness, you start to remember. You remember who you are. You remember who you've always been. And in that remembrance, you begin to realign. The false narratives fall off. The borrowed expectations break. The illusions dissolve. And suddenly, you're face to face with your truth. You're not who they said you were. You're not who you had to pretend to be. You're not who you were in survival mode. You are the chosen one. Not because of how loud your voice is, but because of how tuned your spirit is. You don't seek attention. You seek alignment. And alignment is more powerful than any spotlight. You could be invisible to the world and still be fully seen by heaven. And that's what matters now. Not who sees you, but who sent you. Not who follows you, but who formed you. Chosen one, don't be discouraged if you feel misunderstood. The path of the Spirit isn't designed for mass approval. It's designed for divine fulfillment. Your walk is sacred. Your timing is divine. Your positioning is prophetic. You're not just arriving. You're being unveiled. The real you is emerging. The one who doesn't need to wear masks. The one who doesn't need to chase. The one who knows that where their spirit belongs, their presence will be enough. This is what it means to be guided. It's not about dramatic signs. It's about subtle confirmations. That moment when your heart says yes, even when your eyes can't see the full picture. That moment when you choose obedience over popularity. That moment when you follow peace instead of logic. These are the sacred steps, and every one of them is unlocking something divine, something ancient, something only the chosen understand. You didn't come this far by accident. You didn't survive all that pain for nothing. Every storm, every loss, every breakdown, it was a setup. A setup to strip you of everything that didn't align. A setup to reveal the truth of your essence. A setup to lead you into the sacred space that was always yours. And now that you've been emptied, you can finally be filled. Filled with purpose. Filled with clarity. Filled with spiritual direction. This isn't just another season, it's a sacred placement. Your spirit has been waiting for this, and now it's here. There is something divine about the way your life has unfolded, the way every disappointment became a turning point, the way the losses became gateways to deeper revelation, the way the confusion led to clarity. It didn't feel holy at the time, It felt cruel, unjust, even unbearable. But now, as you look back with awakened eyes, you start to see the sacred thread that was always running through it. There was guidance in the chaos. There was purpose in the pain. Every closed door had divine fingerprints. And now, the message is clearer than ever. Your spirit was never aimless. It was always being led. You see, many people confuse visibility with purpose. They think just because something is loud, it must be divine. But God moves in mystery. He speaks in silence. He guides through subtle shifts. That's why the chosen ones often walk alone. Because your spirit isn't meant to follow trends, it's meant to follow truth. And truth doesn't need to be flashy to be powerful. What you're feeling now, the strange pull, the heightened awareness, the growing disconnect from the old ways, is your soul adjusting to the frequency of your new spiritual home. There are places your soul was allergic to, and you stayed out of obligation. There were conversations that drained your life force, but you stayed out of guilt. There were patterns that dimmed your light, but you stayed out of fear. But that time is over. The pressure to conform is breaking. The urge to explain yourself is fading. The false connections are dissolving. And in their place, divine alignment is rising. You are being separated not to be lonely, but to be recalibrated. You are being pulled aside so that your spirit can breathe. Chosen one, there is a geography of the spirit. Just like your physical body has places where it thrives, your soul has environments where it unlocks. These aren't always visible to the naked eye. They're felt. They're sensed. And the closer you get to your place of belonging, the more your intuition will light up. Your dreams will intensify. Your energy will sharpen. You'll begin to notice how your body reacts to certain people and places. This isn't random. It's revelation. God is using your sensitivity as a signal. Don't second-guess what your spirit already knows. That relationship that always made you feel small, that place that suffocated your creativity, that job that rewarded your silence but punished your authenticity. These were not your home. They were part of the journey, but they were not the destination. And now that your spirit is being called home, those places will feel unbearable. What once you tolerated, you can no longer stomach. That's how you know the shift has begun. The old skin is shedding. The old story is ending. This is the part where you can't go back. Even if you tried, it wouldn't feel the same. The places that used to comfort you now feel foreign. The conversations that used to entertain you now sound empty. The goals that once felt urgent now seem irrelevant. This isn't apathy, it's ascension. You are rising, spiritually, energetically, emotionally. You're no longer chasing what once validated your false self. You're now being drawn into alignment with your true self, the one God knew before the world tried to label you. You may feel like you're losing control, but what's really happening is surrender. You're no longer pushing. You're flowing. You're no longer forcing outcomes. You're allowing divine timing. You're no longer settling for what your ego wants. You're opening to what your soul needs. This shift is sacred. It's uncomfortable, but it's holy, and it's necessary. Because the place God is guiding you to cannot be accessed with old energy. The key is spiritual obedience, not perfection, not performance, just surrender. This next level of your journey will not require your exhaustion. It will require your alignment. You don't have to burn out to be worthy. You don't have to overextend to be enough. The environment you're being led to will honor your essence without condition. It will recognize your worth without explanation. It will match your vibration without manipulation. And when you find it, you'll realize why it never worked anywhere else. The wrong soil could never birth what God planted in you. You've been walking through deserts not to die, but to detox, to let go of attachments that no longer serve your destiny, to unlearn survival tactics that once protected you, but now limit you, to break soul ties that kept you tethered to the lesser version of yourself. This process has not been easy, but it has been sacred. It has been God-ordained. And now, the terrain is changing. The spiritual climate is shifting. You're not wandering anymore. You're arriving. You don't have to rush. You don't have to chase. The place where your spirit belongs is not going anywhere. It's been waiting for you to be ready, to be whole, to be willing, to stop settling for the familiar and step into the divine. And now you're ready, not because you figured it all out, but because you finally let go. You let go of needing to understand everything. You let go of needing it to look a certain way. You let go of trying to carry what was never yours to begin with. You were always meant to be guided by something deeper. Not trends, not fear, not logic. Spirit. That's your compass now. That's your navigation. And even when your mind doesn't understand the next step, your heart will. Even when the world tells you it doesn't make sense, your soul will whisper, "Oh, keep going." Because the place you're headed isn't built by man, it's built by God. And what he builds is eternal, untouchable, secure. Let this be your confirmation that what you're sensing is real, that your spirit is not confused, it's being calibrated, that the uneasiness is a holy alert, that the people who are fading away are not abandoning you, they're making space, that the unknown ahead is not a threat, it's a threshold, and when you cross it, you'll know, not just in your mind, but in your body, in your energy, in your breath. You'll know that you are finally where your spirit belongs, and everything inside you will exhale. You are not who you were yesterday, not because of how much you've done, but because of how deeply you've transformed. Your soul has expanded. Your energy has evolved. Your discernment has sharpened. And what used to appeal to the old version of you now feels empty. That's not arrogance, it's awakening. It's what happens when you begin to honor what your spirit is actually aligned with. You're starting to see that the places you used to run toward were never meant to house you. They were temporary stops on a sacred journey, stepping stones to where you truly belong. Your frequency is rising, and with it, the need to release everything that cannot rise with you. This is why some people suddenly feel distant, why familiar environments now feel spiritually heavy, why what once felt like comfort now feels like a cage. Don't fight this. Don't cling to what's fading. Don't try to resurrect what God is removing. The exit of the old is the entrance to the sacred. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. You weren't born for crowded paths. You were born for divine roots. Roots that are often misunderstood, underestimated, and at times invisible to others. But the chosen don't need a crowd to confirm their steps. They need presence, divine presence. And that's what you're walking with now. You don't even need to have all the answers, because you're walking with the one who holds them. You just need to stay sensitive, stay surrendered, stay aligned.
There's a sacred silence that comes before every spiritual shift. A moment where everything around you still looks the same, but something within you knows change is already happening. You start to see with new eyes. You start to hear with new awareness. You start to feel with deeper intuition. That's where you are now, suspended between what was and what will be. And it's in this place that God speaks the clearest, not with loud signs, but with internal knowing. There will be moments when you feel the need to explain this shift to others. But don't. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be obedient to your calling. Some people will think you're distant. Let them. Some will think you've changed. You have. Some will try to pull you back into the version of you that made them comfortable. But that version has expired. You're not who you were, and you're not going back. You are being led by an unseen hand to a sacred destination, a place that was prepared for your essence long before your existence, a place that doesn't require you to filter yourself to be accepted, a place where your fullness is not only welcomed, it's needed. You won't have to compete there. You won't have to shrink. You won't have to dim your light to be tolerated, because the space you're stepping into has been attuned to your exact vibration. You didn't go through all of that pain just to go back to pretending. You didn't survive all those nights of silence just to blend in with noise again. Everything that has been stripped from you was for this moment of clarity. You're lighter now, more sensitive, more refined, more aligned. And that alignment is your access. The more you align, the clearer the direction. The more you release, the faster the shift. You're not being held back. You're being set apart. Your elevation was never meant to be flashy. It was meant to be authentic, quiet even, but deeply rooted in truth. Your truth, the one God wrote into your spirit before the world tried to convince you to be someone else. The truth that speaks in dreams, in synchronicities, in divine nudges and gut feelings. That's your compass now. That's your signal. And when you follow it, doors open, not because you knocked, but because they were waiting for your vibration. You're not in a rush anymore because you've started to trust. Trust that everything is unfolding at the exact pace it needs to. Trust that even the detours are divinely timed. Trust that your presence is not late. Trust that your gift doesn't need to be rushed. It needs to be rooted. God is not preparing you to visit the place where your spirit belongs. He's preparing you to dwell in it, to take up space, to shift the atmosphere, to walk in unapologetic alignment. And this time, you'll know how to hold it, because you've been through the fire. You've been through the wilderness. You've carried the weight of becoming in silence. And now that your steps are being divinely ordered, you will no longer tolerate what's beneath your assignment. You won't attach to what drains you. You won't invest in what confuses your energy. You'll move with clarity, with calm, with divine confidence. Chosen one, this isn't about what you're leaving behind. It's about what you're stepping into. You are stepping into spaces that match the truth of who you are, into connections that recognize your soul, into environments that honor your presence without requiring explanation. You'll feel it the moment you arrive, not just externally, but energetically. You'll feel safe, seen, whole. And that feeling isn't a coincidence. It's confirmation. Everything before this was training. Every misstep, every heartbreak, every disappointment. It was all preparation. preparation for the unveiling of your true path. The path that doesn't just serve your ego, it feeds your spirit. And once you walk it, you'll never settle again. Not for fake love, not for loud distractions, not for watered-down connections. You'll know too much. You've felt too much. You've awakened too far to pretend again. Now is the time to trust what you've been feeling, even if you can't explain it, even if no one else sees it yet, even if the path seems hidden. Your inner world is leading the way now, and that is enough, more than enough. Because what's for you will feel like flow, like peace, like truth, like home. Not because it's perfect, but because it's aligned. And that alignment is the proof you've been waiting for. You're not being guided to chase a dream. You're being guided to embody your purpose, to live in such alignment that the dream comes to you, that the people, places, and timing flow without force, that your mere presence becomes the open door. And as you continue to move in this spiritual rhythm, you'll begin to realize you are not just finding your place, you are becoming it. You're not just stepping into alignment, you're becoming the alignment itself. And everything meant for you will rise to meet you there.